Many people, kids, adults, the elderly, they struggle with different things: anxiety, focus, sleep disorders, migraine, stress, memory, depression, autism, a host of other things. And because this has to do with the brain, and it's all about the brain. And the brain is an electrical process. As an electrical process, making electrical things, things like volts and amps, resistance, capacitance, inductance, these are all part of the thought process, emotions, behavior, movement, sensation. It's all in the brain and the brain waves. And it relates to all of these things. When there's misfiring, we have disease. Emotional, physical, academic, social, behavioral issues, all of this is all about the electrical nature of the brain. And the brain is capable of enormous change, the plastic brain, and it is known as neuroplasticity. The brain can evolve, adapt, and has incredible processes of adaptation to different changes, injury, and all different types of things. Learning, which is adaptive behavior, takes place with positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Mostly in the school, it's through a positive, at least it's supposed to be a positive reinforcement process. Getting a feedback of our different ideas, which oftentimes creates positive reinforcement repetition. When we monitor your brainwave, we can find out when your brainwave is in the proper learning state and reinforce that by giving you a little star, giving you a little bit of an extra boost. We call this shaping, behavioral shaping, so that you start to get more and more stars as your brain gets into more and more behavior positive. And we call this neurofeedback. Much better than drugs. Drugs don't really work. They create problems. You see, we want to promote healthy change, long-lasting solutions. In behavioral theory, the idea of shaping is to use small little rewards of successive approximations to get the behavior slowly to change it. And we have put a shaping behavior into our program to allow you to give a hormonal boost as a reward at any time that there is an improvement. Now, we call this shaping. And you can learn more about this from our work. And this is a type of behavioral theory to give a small little reward to a stimulus to increase. Because like we see with when we have a reward, we get more. And even a negative reward, a negative reinforcer, can get a behavioral change. A positive reinforcer or a negative reinforcer can give a change, can increase behavior. In order to decrease behavior, we have to ignore the behavior. If the teachers and the students both ignore bad behavior, then the bad behavior student will quit. With a reinforcer, positive or negative, we will see an increase in behavior. Behaviors that are attended to will increase. Behaviors that are ignored will probably decrease. That's not always true. At any rate, with our system, we have a cybernetic loop of being able to send in different energy, TENS, CES, wound healing, GSR, and then read the EEG, GSR, ECG, EMG, where it can then get a cybernetic loop. Here we have the brain wave. If we do this with a student or sports athlete or even anybody, we can measure the brain wave. And when that brain wave goes into a specific type of pattern where learning is intensive, such as the gamma pattern, etc., then we can give that student a reinforcer. You see, we're going to turn on the system. Here it goes. We're going to be doing and now we've turned on the brainwave system. And you can see that the left is the yellow line is the left hemisphere, the red line is the right hemisphere. And up in the upper right, we'll see a 0 there. There, I'm pointing at it. The 0 is how many times that they're in the gamma super learning mode. As the person is watching this, we're starting to play the music.
And then ask the questions.
Ask some questions. And all of a sudden, they're going to start to see that person will get a star every time their brain goes into this super learning mode. So far, she's just warming up. The brain's not there. And you're going to see that all of a sudden, she's going to start to get some stars. It's a biofeedback function.
And as soon as you start to ask mathematical or all kinds of intellectual questions, the brain starts to work.
And we have now put on the flashing
And there is one
light,
star appearing. Great.
and the flashing sign is meant to stimulate the brain into gamma waves.
And putting the brain into a higher frequency, on a higher level, where you can memorize more things.
And now that the light, the flashing thing is coming on, look at the incredible number as it's taken her brainwave. She has now, with biofeedback, taken her brainwave into a superlearning mode. You see those stars flashing.
And what we could also clearly see that our patients could answer the questions faster and also add and divide the numbers faster together.
Patients said that they felt like it was a cup of coffee. It was a slight stimulant, but this will increase their learning.
And also the memorizing ability and intellectual answering ability, and also how to see questions from the inside.
You can hear the music now, and this music is of different types. It's for gamma waves and for alpha waves, theta waves, and the patient will be selecting them based on their needs in the brainwave, because we're doing a brainwave variability measure that will help to tell just what brainwave the person needs. And look, incredible numbers. She's up to 212. Once a student can learn this, and they get this once or twice a week, this will take them into the ability to take this into class. They'll start to recognize how to get their brain into this gamma wave super learning mode.
This is also perfect for children who have learning disabilities or who have attention disabilities. This is a perfect program to make them better and to help them.
Of the 12 people that we did, we got results on everybody. Now here we're going into the resonance system, and he's getting a couple of stars up here. Every time he resonates, he sends back more energy that was sent in. That's resonance.
Everything has a resonance.
I know, but he actually is resonating, and he's making energy, body energy, beyond the norm. And it's really kind of incredible. But when he does that at the same time as balance, we get a little star. So now what we have in the real eductor, not the Mandalay fraud, but in the real system now, what we have is basically the ability to use biofeedback in brainwave and also through electrostimulation here to build resonance for the electro-transcendental meditation program, to be able to get the body to transcend modern physics and go well past that. So now what we have is a system of guided imagery that we can help them with biofeedback to make the system work and work better. I hope you can appreciate this and hope you can tune in more for our learning programs here on IM Fix.